Okay, hello everyone. We want to spend some time today to talk about the X Division, where it was when TNA first started as compared to where it is now, and also where they are going. So let's kick it off. 2002, 2003, the X Division, even 2004, 2005, they were tearing it up.
Well, and the thing about the X Division too that I want to point out is basically it was like WCW's Cruiserweight division, which was phenomenal. They had amazing matches, but TNA took it to another level and said that there's going to be no weight classes, no limits, and they had amazing matches. But the X Division was not held as an importance. It was just brought in as in like, this is what's going to get people's attention. This is what's going to draw.
It did, and as a matter of fact, that's a big reason why a lot of people started watching TNA. They knew Jeff Jarrett was champion. They didn't like it, but they still watched the program because they knew they were going to see awesome matches from the X Division.
People complain about the main events that there are now. I mean, back in the day, it was like Ken Shamrock and Jeff Jarrett and Scott Hall and BG James, Disco Inferno. Mikey Anderson. They had freaking sex, sports entertainment to the extreme. I mean, it was terrible. And people want to bash it now, and it's like it's gone way beyond that.
Yeah, and as far as 2004, when they had their first pay-per-views, Victory Road, Turning Point, they had some great matches. They had Petey Williams versus AJ Styles.
That was Victory Road.
Yeah, it was Victory Road. Turning Point, I believe, was Petey Williams versus Chris Sabin.
Yep.
And then from there they had AJ and Daniels, and then when it really got its big momentum, when the X Division was on, the main event was AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe. Once they got Samoa Joe, that took the X Division to a huge level, a whole nother level they'd never been to before.
And it was an amazing feud. People still remember that feud. It's going to go down as one of the greatest feuds ever in wrestling history.
Yeah.
They had unbelievable matches. I mean, Unbreakable 05 is just like, oh my God, good.
Yeah.
And my thing is though, I really felt like TNA threw all their eggs in one basket with this feud, and when they all got out of the X Division and became main eventers, which they all are, they don't know what to do. So what they did is they took guys that they thought weren't that charismatic and gave them these corny, goofy gimmicks, and it's not working. No. Granted, I don't crap on TNA totally about the whole thing because they still are able to go out on pay-per-views and deliver great matches.
That's the difference.
But the characters are retarded, and they're made to be a joke.
I mean,
it should not be that way.
I can understand the Black Machismo, Jay Lethal gimmick. The Guru Sanjay Dutt gimmick is terrible.
And the main reason I understand the Black Machismo gimmick is because we were there at a live show, and trust me, people, it's over. It's way over.
Yes.
It works.
And the Guru gimmick, I think they should use that gimmick to turn Sanjay Dutt heel.
And it made sense.
Yes.
It made sense that that's what they were going to do. They were going to have the Guru gimmick, and they were having buddy with Jay Lethal, and then he was going to turn on it.
And then on top of that, they have these colorful characters, and then they bring in a guy like Bob Backlund, who is feuding with Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin at the time. It was silly. They made the X Division to be out kind of like a joke. They kind of shit on it.
Well, and what pissed me off on last week's Impact, they had the Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, Sabin's been freaking defending the X Division title forever. Shelley and them, they're both awesome. They're both X Division guys, and then VKM goes in there and squashes them.
And you can hear the crowd.
No point in that.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd. They were chanting, "This is BS." Because it was absolutely terrible. Everybody knows how we feel about VKM, so we don't really need to go in any further than that. But the difference is when they go on pay-per-view, they have amazing matches. The problem is with the time that they have now, they're using it to build around their main event stars, and that's the difference. The X Division and the main event have kind of traded places now. The main event is where they're focusing most of their attention now. Once they get their 2-hour deal, they're going to have the time to focus on both.
And let's explain why that's happened. Because they have Kurt Angle, they have Christian Cage, they have Sting, they have Samoa Joe, they have AJ Styles. They have unbelievable main eventers now that they didn't have back then.
And the four-way was great.
And I think that they're forgetting about their X Division because their main events are so good. Their main eventers are so good. And if they have both, that's when it's going to be the real deal. And guess when that's going to happen? 2 hours.
Absolutely.
Once they get 2 hours, they're going to push the X Division guys.
They definitely have their heads screwed on straight. I know they know where they're going. It's just about them realizing that they don't really need colorful characters to get these guys over.
No.
They can go out there and they can be themselves. They could have Petey Williams come out, and he could basically say, I've been under the radar, and the bottom line is I beat AJ Styles when he was actually phenomenal, and he wasn't Christian Cage's bitch. And he can say that, And obviously, we still all know AJ Styles is phenomenal, but then AJ could come out and say, hey, Why am I under all this flack? Whatever. And then they could have a match on Impact. Petey Williams could actually beat AJ Styles with the Canadian Destroyer, and then AJ could go to Christian and be like, he was right. What's going on here? I thought that you were going to make me a better person. And then that could set up for AJ Styles' babyface turn with a match with Christian Cage, which I think would be phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And then it would put over your X division as very credible, and that they could beat any of the main event talent.
Right. And I mean, you got to think who they still have. They have Jay Lethal. They have Sin Shi. They have Alex Shelley. They have Frankie Kazarian. They have Chris Sabin.
Yep.
I mean, they have even Homicide they could bring in if they wanted to.
Yep.
They have unbelievable talent.
Yep.
And in my opinion, I think Frankie Kazarian should be X Division champion. I think that he would be way up there. I also think you cannot ignore the Lethal Dutt feud.
No.
And eventually that needs to happen.
Yep.
Sanjay needs to turn on him in the worst way. He needs to absolutely brutalize him and totally say that, this guru gimmick is BS.
Yep.
And I'm the real deal. And I've been in TNA for a long time and I deserve this belt.
Yep.
I think that's the problem is these guys they're lacking passion. And I'm not saying they are, but on TV they don't show it.
Yeah.
They're showed to be cartoon characters.
Yeah.
Like
and
they're in a video game.
Yep.
And that's where they drop the ball. When the X Division guys show passion, when they show that they're real feelings, that's when it was AJ Styles, Joe, and Daniels. And that's what made all the matches mean so much more because the build-up was good and the matches were amazing.
Yep, and then that's what, like I said, that's what we will have with the 2-hour deal, and we know it's coming. I mean, keep your eyes and ears open. It's going to be any day now. I feel like they're going to announce it.
I mean, JB hinted it at the New York crowd at the Syracuse show. I mean, it's going to happen. Everybody, Ultimate Fighter just went to Wednesdays, which means TNA gets Thursdays, so it's going to be on Spike TV.
I mean,
it's on.
And also, let's talk about No Surrender. I mean, that pay-per-view is going to be way worth ordering.
Yep.
I mean, it is going to have a stacked card.
Yep.
You've got Kurt Angle performing 3 times.
Yep.
Okay, that's a pleasure and an honor in and of
plus,
itself.
everybody's on pins and needles because they all want them to lose the belts.
Yeah, and I feel like he will.
I hope he loses the X Division title.
Yep.
And I really think he's going to lose the tag team belt.
Because it's going to set up a feud
with Sting and Kurt for Bound for Glory. Everybody knows it's going to happen.
Yes, and then on top of that, you're going to have Joe versus someone in Christian's coalition, if not just Christian by himself.
Yep.
So that's going to be a phenomenal match.
And nobody can deny how good Impact was last week.
No.
The main event was amazing, and that's what 2 hours is going to do every single time.
Yep.
Plus, you're going to get like an amazing X Division match, and amazing main event, and amazing promos.
I mean, I can't even fathom.
It's on, people.
It's on.
In October 4th, it all starts right there. And then it's going to Bound for Glory, and we're finishing strong.
This is such a perfect time. It's such a perfect time because the WWE is taking such a huge hit right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, from the media, from everybody.
And I'm not saying wrestling doesn't have steroids involved. It does. No. But I'm saying this. If you want to be a main eventer, Vince McMahon wants you to inject. Yeah. That's all there is to it. Because you cannot get over without being huge. And
in his mind.
In his mind. I'm not saying that's not true.
Yeah.
If you look at Ken Kennedy, when he was Ken Anderson, he was totally like probably 70 pounds lighter. I mean, he was skinny. Okay, you look at Edge. Edge definitely had to put on muscle to get the belt.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. That's the way the guy thinks.
Yeah.
And so steroids are always going to be a problem in the WWE.
Absolutely.
Always.
Anyways, watch No Surrender. Tune in to Impact once it goes 2 hours.
Tune in to Impact now.
Yeah, tune in to Impact now, absolutely. But anyways, I guess that's a wrap, and we'll see y'all next week.
Right.